What's up? Welcome to the channel. We got Porsche Jesus here, Pcar Guy in the house. Today, it's time to learn some Porsche language, some Porsche lingo so you can talk to Porsche people, right? Go ahead and start that intro, bro. Welcome to the show. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe below because we're trying to grow this thing, baby, like these beautiful mullets we got going on. Yeah, brother. But yeah, introducing Porsche Jesus in the house. So, what are we doing when we're talking about Porsche code? There's chassis codes, there's nickname for cars, all types of crazy stuff, right? Your car, people refer to it 997, bro.
I don't know what it means.
Yeah, nobody knows what it means. So when you want to go talk to somebody, you're like, yo, what kind of car do you drive? Oh, I drive a G-body. What the hell does that even mean? Can you just tell me the year? What is it? So a G-body car, if you guys don't know, is a crash bumper car. It was something that had to come around, and unfortunately in the US, with the DOT being scumbags, scumbag alert, they made the cars look like hell. That's just our personal opinion.
The Gordians.
Exactly. So, when you see one of those cars in Porsche lingo, that's a G-body car. So moving on from that, what are some other more significant ones? You tell me one, brother.
930s.
Yeah.
That's
Why? Why is it a 930? Because it's still a G-body car. So why are they calling it a 930? Because it's a turbo car. It's a different chassis. But it's made during the same year. Confusing as hell, right, brah? Right, brah? What the hell? So now when you see a turbo in that same G-body configuration, you're not going to be wrong by calling it G-body, but you may be a whack-ass clown if you don't call it a 930.
You'll be this close to getting it right, but...
Exactly. So don't be that guy or gal. Don't be that person. 964, is it still a 911? Hell yeah, it's still a 911. All of these are still 911s. So that's what makes it even more confusing for people out there. So if you're cruising down the road and you're in your 964 and you see one and people are like, wow, is that a 911? What is that thing? It's a 964 chassis code, but it still is a 911.
But then they also went crazy because the turbos are 965s. So again, you can't get it right.
It's gonna take you years, but we're gonna try to get your speed up, get your IQ up. Follow us here, stick with us. What is that? And then on top of that, it's not even just the 965. In other lingo, because of the popular movie that came out, people are like, oh, you got a Bad Boys 911? So everybody thinks like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what that car is. But actually, do you really know what that car is? Because a Bad Boys 911 was a 1 year only, 3.6 liter turbo engine 964, essentially 965. So super, super confusing, brother and sisters, right? Oh my God. But you gotta get into this lingo, you gotta figure it out. And then let's roll the clock back a little bit. Dial it up, baby. So when we go back in time and you see an old timer in a really old looking 911 and they say, yeah, I drive a long hood 911. What's a long hood 911, bro?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it sounds like. The hood is a little bit long. That's it.
Exactly. It's not rocket science. But to the layman, they all look the same, but they're not. So what he's saying is the hood is longer as opposed to an 80s 911. If you look at the hood on an 80s 911, it is shorter. So that's why they refer to those cars as a long hood car. So there's all these crazy languages. And there's also other things that people say about cars and nicknames and actual badge emblems on the car. They're like, oh, you drive a GT3. Somebody who doesn't know any better, is that still a 911?
I think so, yeah, last time I checked.
Pretty badass, right? So Porsche people have this internal language that a lot of people don't understand. So if somebody says I drive a GT3 and you're at a party or you're in a parking lot because you're an admirer and you don't want to look like a Howley. You want to say, hey, okay, GT3, 911. G-body, still 911. Long hood car, still 911. I'm starting to figure this out because Porsche Jesus is telling us what's going on. Pcar Guy's telling us what's going on. You're learning a little bit now. Now we're getting into this other chassis code, things that didn't even come into the market, or even like names of cars, like race cars. Why do they name it something else?
GT3Rs.
Yeah, RSR. Oh my God, it just gets deeper and deeper into the weeds, right? That's why you need us on this journey. We're here to help you get better at this stuff. So another interesting thing with newer chassis codes, right? So every car has a chassis code. Even Boxsters, Caymans, all of these cars have chassis codes. So you can even get into deep in the woods on those as well, right?
987s, 981s, those things.
Exactly. And if somebody says to you, I drive a 993, well, that's the last of the air-cooled cars, right? So then what happens after 993?
It goes to 997, right?
997, right? What happened to 996? Does anybody even recognize those cars anymore? But yes, they do. Everybody loves 996s. So 996s, for you guys who don't know, was unloved for a long time because it has the fried egg headlights. So if you see one of those around town, it is still a 911. So those are growing in popularity surprisingly as we speak.
That's true.
They are appreciated because they are the most affordable 911 996 chassis. Again, there's a lot of models within that chassis code, but all the way from a base Carrera all the way to a GT3. That was the first year that Porsche introduced the GT3. So a little bit more knowledge for you, so you don't look like a Howley when you're out there in the parking lot at the Cars and Coffee, or you're out at the track and you see some things. You're getting your IQ up, baby.
Leveling up.
Exactly. Leveling up, as Porsche Jesus says. Now there's another code. It goes into it, and it's kind of a secret code as far as people outside of Porsche don't even realize air-cooled and water-cooled.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference there. There's a code of people that only believe in air-cooled cars. And then there's a new school, a group of people that only believe in water-cooled cars. But what is an air-cooled car?
So an air-cooled car is cooled by oil and air. That's it. That's how it works.
Bing, 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 bing. Difficult thing, right?
Yeah.
If you stop and think about it for a second, it makes sense. Water-cooled cars are cooled by water, a radiator system, as most traditional cars. That car started to exist in 1999.
Yep.
I know that seems actually pretty recent. That's how recent Porsche has gone from putting radiators in their car, or radiators, as some of you may say. However, there is a big distinction between the two. Pre-1999, just remember, air-cooled. Post-1999, water-cooled. And the difference between that is, if you could speak a little bit of this lingo, again, you won't look like a Howley. So take it from us, a little bit of info from us. So if you're out somewhere and I say, hey brah, what'd you do with the G-body, brah?
Sold it, man.
What'd you get, brah?
997.
Oh, so you went water cool, huh,
I
bro?
did.
Oh, so you went from air to water, huh, bro?
That made the leap.
So that's the kind of conversation when you hear maybe somebody saying that or overhear that, you can see what that is, right, bro? Yeah, bro. Oh, did you get the GT3, bro?
Oh, you know I did.
Yeah, so you already know they only made those in water-cooled cars, so you already know that's a water-cooled car, right? Oh yeah, I got rid of my long hood, bro, for the GT3. What'd you think about that, bro?
It's a pretty sweet upgrade.
Badass upgrade, right? Got rid of the tractor, got a badass race car. Badass, bro. So the more you know, the more powerful you're gonna be, and the more your education's gonna be, right, bro?
That's right.
So stay tuned for many more episodes from Porsche Jesus and Pcar Guy. We're here to take you along the way. We're going to be talking about everything behind Porsche, baby. So stay tuned and come along for the journey. Yeah!